your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. God's Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. Your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.
What is up, guys? What's cracking? It's the comment, and I am in yo house. And you guys already know the vibes. We are here to talk a little professional wrestling, and you guys already know what we do. Give you guys that work around the clock. Anytime y'all need it. Y'all need it on a Monday, we got you. On a Tuesday, we got you. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we got you. Every single day of the week. If it ends in Y, you getting that work from IYH. And that's not just because of me. That's not just me. That's because I got a great team behind me. And we're going to have a really great episode, y'all. We're excited. We got a lot of things to talk about. All In is today. And we're going to really break that down and chat that up. I mean, 0 hours going down right now in wrestling. Especially wrestling for me personally. Early wrestling, I love that shit. So I know this is going to be amazing. But this episode here is going to be amazing. I got to bring in my team, of course. And that's, of course, my guy, the educator of Extreme, the voice, Josh Joseph. What is up, bro?
How goes it, everybody? Household window lickers, grunts, friends, my friends. I can't wait to talk wrestling. And I know the buddies are out there. Buddies, you're with us. I'll let the other people get onto that. You know, if you're a buddies, you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I like Bud. Does that count?
Hey.
Oh, yeah,
that's close enough.
You're definitely a buddies.
Absolutely, man. So we're out here chilling, you know, and every now and then, especially on Fridays, we like to chill in a certain man's room. It is a certain blue-eyed villain himself. That is Grunmeister coming back to In Your House. What's up, bro?
Yo, what is up? Up in your house, crew? What is up, everybody? Hope you're enjoying your weekend.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
The dungeon.
Yes, there we go.
What
there
dungeon? There is no dungeon.
He's like, where? What dungeon? I know. That's right. Nobody's supposed to know about it. I got you. Right there. Got it.
That's why he fixed the closet door. I can't see the entrance.
Oh, shit. But man,
you're never gonna live that down, apparently.
Nope.
But listen. We can't. This show is too hard. Exactly, there we go, Bruzy. We see you out there, Bruzy. We appreciate you, bro. Glad you're joining us, man. And like, we got to make sure that all the parts move and everything goes where it needs to go. If we're gonna have a great production, and that's why I have a great producer, and that is, of course, Hypocrisy Jones. What's up, bro?
Yo, what up out there, household? Look, my name is Hypocrisy Jones. It's always smoky in Hypadelphia, and I'm ready to talk some wrestling. I'm also ready to talk about this fun week that I've had, some things that I did. I beat Khan in a jam. I just want everybody to know that. And it's about to be lit.
Listen, guys, you can cut that out of the podcast version, or else you will be out of a job. You will be out of the house. I will throw you out Uncle Phil style.
Damn.
Oh, man. Great time. No, I had a great time with my man Hype. We went out and walked the city a little bit. We went to a place I haven't been to in years. It was called... it's called Tappers, and I went there after a Ring of Honor show that happened in Indianapolis, and it was great. It had just opened. It was pretty new, and it basically what it is it's just a arcade of tower style video games, just like back when we were kids, back in the day. You go in there with a handful of quarters and shit, ready to play a little Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and you know, whatever else you could find. They had Simpsons up in that motherfucker. I was playing the hell out of some Simpsons.
That's a good arcade game.
Yes, that's a great arcade game. But you go in there, but you can play all the games for free. All you got to do is show your ID, come in, buy a couple of drinks, and we had a good time. It was just a vibe. Yep, they had Bruzy. Bruzy, they had that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game. We played it. We
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
arcade.
Yeah, we
That's
did.
the best one.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think went forever. It's just tapping. Just
yep.
Tap, 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 tap.
And they just came in waves, bro.
Waves,
just
never
heavy
stop,
waves.
bro.
It
bro.
was crazy. Then we went and got a little Mexican and chilled out. It was a good time. Like I said, just walked a little downtown Indianapolis. It was a vibe. We was right up the road from Lucas Oil. Like, yeah, it was just a good time, bro. Good ass time.
I gotta teach you to start saying pause. You can't just be like, we got a little Mexican, because somebody gonna think we trafficking or some shit. Like, bro, like we got some good Mexican food. Hey, I'm here all week, folks.
No, it was
3-2.
Our guest is taken out, and we haven't even got the
I know.
Yeah.
Right? We are all right.
Oh, that was good though. That was good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right.
man.
So we got to bring our guest in, of course, and of course, I got to give. Listen, we have a guest coming up in our house, up in this house, joining the household. We got to give him a
Up
proper
in this
introduction.
house.
You already know, and like this man is coming, representing, and doing his thing. He's always up in the chat, bro. Always up in our chat. Always supporting us, and it could be like there'd be time where it's like, oh, well, it seemed like the chat about this, it's a little slow right now. Boom, here he come to liven it up. All up in there, and that's the Lou joining in your house. What's up, bro?
What's going on, guys? I gotta hit what Joseph was trying to talk about. The butties. We gotta hit that real quick.
Yes.
What's going on, y'all? Thank you guys for having me on. I'm excited to be here. Talk a little wrestling, hang out. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt.
Yes, sir.
A year ago, yesterday. We definitely got to mention that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me on here.
No.
Isn't that a toilet? I saw that.
Yeah. Bruzy's already in here
not-
starting.
Here we go.
I'm used to that too, so that's all good.
Yeah, man.
Yo, we like some Bruzy.
Yeah,
Bruzy's
we
been
like
on
Bruzy.
or been through the last couple of weeks, man. Yo, shout out Bruzy.
Yeah, no doubt. No
Keep
doubt.
it alive, man.
But like, all right, so here's the thing though. We're definitely gonna talk some wrestling, but like we get a chance to get the Lou coming on here and chatting with us and doing his thing. So like I just wanna give you an opportunity right now for our audience and whatnot. What can they catch the Lou doing? What does the Lou do? Why are you such an exciting, dynamic individual, bro?
Well, because I like to be exciting. I like to have fun. And especially, I've been doing streaming on Twitch for the last little over 2 years. You can catch me. What corner is it? I do like Jones. I miss the corners. Twitch.tv/TheLou_. It's hard. It's hard. You don't know where to you get lost in here. But no, you can find me. You can find me on Twitch, TheLou_. Variety streamer. I play a little bit of everything. We do a little bit of everything. We've got so many fun shows. I'm usually on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern. We've got a lot of fun things coming up. I got an exciting month. I got an alter ego named Dave Dingle. He's a piece of crap, but we keep him over there in the corner. But we go at it every Wednesday. Lou vs. Dingle on Wednesday nights. Friday nights, we've been doing a lot of college football.
Cool.
With our Buddies League. We got 14 members of our online dynasty. Mondays, I've been tried to attack Elden Ring, and it's a little tough. That's a tough game. Grundos. But
yeah.
So I'll do a little bit of variety of everything. We're going to be doing our first ever watch along September 6th. We're doing the Green Bay Packers versus Philadelphia Eagles. It's a Friday night in Brazil. Go Birds. We are going to watch the game Friday night, September 6th. That's going to be my first time ever doing like a watch along thing. So we got a lot of fun things that we do on the channel, a little variety of everything. So
I think we're gonna tap in on that one, bro.
It's gonna be fun.
Tap in on that one. That
It's gonna be fun.
We may not watch Monday Night Raw. And tap
a possibility.
in this Monday Night Football. So I fuck with that.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of good things. It's gonna be fun. Like I said, I've just been enjoying the ride, having fun, meeting great people. Like look at the example here. I've gotten to meet all of you guys, and you just meet so many good people along the way, interact with so many good people doing different things, and it's a lot of fun. This world is amazing. It really is. It's fun.
It's absolutely crazy. Absolutely
We were
crazy.
just kinda talking about that last night, Hype.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were. Con and I becoming friends was through podcasting. Con has been podcasting for a great deal longer than I have. And in that entertainment field, and as I started into it, I found him, we found each other, and then we found all of these crazy people, and it's just a lovely thing, bro.
Yeah,
It really is.
It's a beautiful thing. Like I said, I just think, like I told you last night, bro, I just think people like us, we're just screaming for some culture. And I think we're just, because we're wanting that culture, we're becoming the culture creators. You know what I'm saying? So
we are. We're creating a lot, cool. Bro.
That's what I love, bro. That's what I love.
Can we got to tell, we got, as we're creating, this is a good segue to tell people that we have something coming up that you want to stay very, very close
locked in.
Stay locked in. Look, check this out. We got a secret. We have a secret, bro. We have a live on location house party coming very soon.
What's that?
I can't tell you yet.
We
can't tell them yet.
We can't
but
tell them. Hey,
I'll tell you.
No, we can't tell them yet.
Can't tell you.
Dingle,
yet,
don't say nothing.
Dingle.
But we can tell you something. We will drop the information for all of this on the September 15th episode of the house party.
Ooh, okay. Y'all hear that? September 15th.
Write it
down. Put it on your calendar.
September 15th. We will drop the information for a live on location house party. And bro, we are about to make this lit. It is about to be huge. It is.
Tell him, Brucey. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Dingle has entered our chat, guys. Things are about to get different and weird. Stay with us. Dave, if you haven't seen him live, it's an experience.
What does he have to say? This is an inclusive household. What does he have to say?
It is. I'm curious.
Well, this is what he was saying during your secret time. He knows all. So you better watch out. And you can't have no loot party with no Dave.
I think we can.
Thought about that thing?
Wow.
Apparently,
I'll take care of it later, guys. I'm sorry.
I guess we're joining. He's coming in our house too, so we gonna welcome him in. But yes, guys, September 15th. I'm very excited for what we have planned. Like I said, we're keeping it close to our chest. Just make sure y'all are tapping in for real. So live on location, something big. It's just trust me, y'all. You guys are going to love this. And
yes.
I know that our household members out there who they enjoy AEW and whatnot. I know they're loving what's happening today because it's all in. It's going down. I've got 0 Hour playing behind me right now. And checking it out just because I want to be in the loop. You know what I'm saying? But I got to tell you, it's looking deep in there. And but I will say this though, we talked about it. I was out and about.
Shout out Messy.
Hey, what's up, Messy? But I was with Hype, and we were all in this tomorrow, right? And he was like, yo, I completely forgot. What? Yeah, it's tomorrow. So now we're like, dang, it's crazy because. So I'm with the voice. I'm talking to you now, bro. Because we was talking about that. We talking about AEW, and you were bringing up this interview with Tony Khan, where he had a certain hat on, and it was a Max hat. And today is all in. And the reason that I bring that up is to say this. If this deal actually happened, or would have already happened, or if he would announce it today, we would be watching this. We'd be checking this out. We would be viewing this. So I'm just at a point where it's like, Hype, where are you at with the show, man? I know it's going down. We got 0 hour. We're definitely going to break down, talk a little bit about it. Then we're going to talk some Smackdown. But, like, it's always an issue for me when it's like this awesome AEW show is happening and I just learned about it about, like, a day ahead of time.
Yeah, it's going on right now. It's going crazy. You know, we can't show everything, but
Right.
we'll give you a little peek as to what's going on. We lost voice. How we lose voice?
Oh, he's back.
He back.
My bad.
Voice? Yep.
Oh, okay. He must be having a difficulty.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
having technical difficulties.
I thought it was a me thing, but yeah, we have all in going on right now. As you can see, 0 hour, the 0 dark hour is going on right now, live. So you know, AEW is one of those conundrums to us, right? Because it's not that we're not followers of the product. I don't think we follow the product like as much as we can, but sometimes there's nothing to really follow. I forget their pay-per-views. I forget when their PLEs come on, and I think they'll eventually get there. And like, you know, they definitely have shown an ability to strike hot. Right? So like they'll get there. It's just like I'm looking forward to this Danielson swerve match. I think that's going to be fun because I don't know what direction they're going to go in.
Because it's title versus career.
Yeah, and you know, Bryan Danielson is very giving in the wrestling world, and he may just be, you know, for lack of a better terms, you know, I don't think anybody really wants to see him lose this match, and they want to see him continue a story. But as hot as Swerve has been for AEW and the good things that he has done, it's a hard tell how this match happens. And I know AEW doesn't do a lot of like fucked up finishes, but like this may be one of those times. And if they're able to do that and create a compelling story out of this may be one of those hot stories that they're able to build off of. And that's all I want to see AEW do, bro.
I think that's a lot of what it is, man, is that if they can start building more compelling stories, because the wrestling is there, like it's there. Like sometimes I think it's a little bit like too much. Like I like a little bit more storytelling in my in-ring action, and sometimes they just boom, 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 the lack of selling and whatnot. That is what it is. You know, I can get over that. That doesn't hang me up. But like I'm saying, once again, they're over there in London, and the place is packed. It's packed. So many people there that I'm seeing. So like, it's not that. I think that when people can go to the shows, especially overseas shows are always the ones that are going to pack. And why is that? Because they don't get a whole lot of wrestling. Like, they don't get a grandiose, like it's so oversaturated here. It's crazy. I could throw a rock outside of my front porch and I can hit 2 or 3 wrestling promotions. Like that's just how it is here in the States. But overseas, it's a little bit less. So that's why we see these crazy crowds in AEW when they go overseas. A lot of crazy crowds when WWE goes goes overseas and whatnot. And you see it. And I love it. I love that we're bringing into it. But, you know, as great as this event is for AEW, I also have to bring into the fact that they're pivoting.
That's good.
That's good stuff. But
oh man, we're gonna have to put that on a Patreon, put that shit behind a paywall or something.
For sure. But like, are they going back to London? That's the question, because it's been announced that next year All In is pivoting, and they're going to be running in July and in Arlington, Texas, which I kind of foresaw something like that coming, because like I just think it's a tough turnover to have an all-in show 2 weeks before an all-out show. You know what I'm saying? Like that close pay-per-views together, it's just it I think it hurts the stories a little bit that's going around it. And it's just a hard turnover for these stars because, on these special edition PLEs or pay-per-views or whatever, they're going harder. They're going harder than they are on a Wednesday night or on a Saturday night, So, I just think the turnaround is weird. I think it's a smart move, but I also wonder how the folks in London feel about that. Are they going to get anything at all? I don't know, but I just feel like I'd be more privy to watch more of this stuff if they already made the deal. So, Voice, I know, like I said, you was bringing up that interview, bro, about the Max deal. Yeah. Why won't this guy just announce the deal, bro? That's my thing. Just announce the deal.
Yeah, I agree with you. And this honestly shows Tony's immaturity in the business. He's holding this because this is what he has right now. What else does he have? I mean, yeah, he's got this all-in show going on, but at the end of the day, it's not going to be there next year. Those people over in London, I assumed, and this is just from reading the chats and things like that, I assumed that they were expecting this to be their pay-per-view. Yeah. This was going to be their yearly thing to look forward to. And I'm sorry, but at the end of the day, it does cost a lot of money to do this. And if this guy is shifting this show that has been one of his crown jewels over there to back over to America, something tells me that he is not making money off any of the ideas that he's throwing out there. He's honestly destroyed a majority of things, and we now know Ricochet's there. We now, I mean, if anybody else is out there, listen to me. I do not want Chris Jericho anywhere near Ricochet. This learning tree bullshit needs to fucking just evaporate. Somebody needs to get some weed killer and spray that shit down. Because I hate that, if you put Ricochet in there,
overstaying his welcome, bro. I hate it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Exactly. I love Jericho. I love him. I appreciate everything Lionheart has done for us in this industry. You were a sensation. Y2K, I mean, Y2J. Yeah. I mean, just come on. The fact that you took all of those ideas, and you made your own thing, and you became the thing that blew up WWE. You became the virus that was WWE, and you accomplished everything, and now you're doing this shit. Come on, man. You're better than that, Jericho. You're way better than that.
I just really feel like he's overstayed his welcome. It's giving Ric Flair in a major way. In a major way. I mean, and there was a while there I loved Ric Flair, but then also got to a point where it's like, all right, man, it's time to hang it up. Yeah. Even my all-time favorite wrestler, The Undertaker, those last 2-3 years of his career, I was like, all right, man, you don't have to keep doing this anymore. You know what I'm saying? And like Brucey said, respectfully move out of the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, respectfully move out of the way. That's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It's like, these greats, we love them, we appreciate them, but you got to know when that time is done, because if wrestling is going to keep going and keep growing and keep evolving well into next generations, you know what I'm saying? It's got to be. There's got to be new stars. Now, I saw Hype. I saw you put that up. As far as like All In at 20,
the whales of Jericho.
Yeah.
In 2026. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. AEW will be in London in 2026, guaranteed, and they're also having the Forbidden Door will be in London next year. Okay. So they're not giving up on the London crowd or faithful, but I think they are moving away from. This event has to be staged in this location, because traditionally what is it, All Out is in Chicago. We may see that in a different location at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
okay. So
but I mean, are they going to be around in 2026?
I hope they are. I hope they are. I'm not gonna lie. I hope they are.
As pessimistic as we are about their storytelling, I think they are. They are a product that does have value and show value, and we'll definitely see that. that max deal is coming, right? Like it has to be coming of some sort. So if that does not come, then we have that discussion. But it has to be coming.
Yeah. Okay, so
Ooh.
Okay, so they're going to do Forbidden Door in 2025. I'm sorry, I'm just saying that. I think that's smart if they're going to go back to London in 2025 because that spreads out the time. Forbidden Door happens a couple months before All Out, you know what I'm saying? So that way at least that spreads out the time so it's not like he's having to do all that, fly everybody over 2 weeks before you have another big show where you're pouring money into it. Voice also made a point about Ricochet signing with the company. I have my thoughts on it, but I'm going to throw it over to Grun, bro. What's your thoughts on Ricochet now signing with AEW?
So I saw a comment on Twitter, I think it was and someone was suggesting that Ricochet doesn't have any creativity, and that was why that he was kind of stagnated in WWE.
Yeah.
And I started thinking, well, I mean, if he's going to AEW, he's got to know, his wife is in WWE, and Ricochet was a very popular act and performer in WWE.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, this guy just wants to wrestle, and he just wants to be the flippy dude guy. And it's like, that's great, dude. That's great that you want to be the flippy guy, because you are fantastic at it, one of the best at it. But I hope you're not expecting world championships. I hope you're not expecting titles, because here's the thing: as a fan, and being very critical, Ricochet, what does he bring to the table right now? Because look, in his indie days before he was in WWE, we would probably be having a completely different conversation. I would not know anything. I would be not knowing anything about Ricochet. In his time in WWE, I know he's a great wrestler. I know people have been saying that he's a great talker. I didn't see enough evidence about that, but you're buying this guy only because he's from WWE, because he used to be, because he had his old reputation of being a great wrestler and being a great worker, being a great member of the team. Can you actually get your money back from this guy?
I'm sorry, Voice, I'm going to let you go, but that's an interesting thought because, my mindset with Ricochet is, they have literally, 1 million Ricochets on the AEW roster already that do the exact same thing. Grun, you said some people were saying he's a great talker, and you're not seeing any evidence of that. Brother, neither am I. I don't think he's a great talker. I think he's a passable talker. That's what I think that he is. That's not me hating on him. I think he's a passable talker. He's not a great talker. Come on. Anybody who's saying Ricochet is a great talker is not paying attention, because that guy is not a great talker. Passable talker at best. Fantastic in-ring performer. Lou, what are you thinking about the signing of the company Ricochet? Do you see value in it? What's your thoughts, man?
I kind of feel the same. He's going to go over to AEW. He's just going to get meshed into all the flippers and jump. I mean, we're going to have some good matches.
Sure.
There'll be some great matches. Yeah. You got Will Ospreay. Obviously, we know where that history is.
Yep.
You can throw him in there with, some of the other, flippy jumpy guys. I've always liked Ricochet. I thought his best time with WWE was in NXT. Yeah. You had a lot of great moments there in NXT with Ricochet, when his first debut match, with the ladder match for the North America Championship. You had his rivalry with Velveteen Dream. There was a lot of great moments for him, but when he got to the main roster, it's hard in WWE when your focus in WWE is a lot of big muscle moving around. Ricochet, I feel, just got lost in the shuffle with that, and there wasn't a whole lot of movement for him to either be a U.S. champion or Intercontinental, sometimes, but most of it, what did he do? Tag team with Braun, So I just feel like Ricochet's got the talent. He's gonna do big things in AEW, but for the most part, it's like what Grun was talking about. You're not gonna be the guy. You're gonna be just in the mix.
Yep. And here's the thing, bro. The thing, bro. He might be in the mix, but in all seriousness, what about if he gets lost in the shuffle? I think that's a real conversation that needs
Definitely
to be had.
possible.
He can
Definitely
get lost
possible.
he can get lost in that shuffle. So I don't know. I like Ricochet. For me personally, this career path was just weird for me because and the reason that I say that is because WWE is hotter than it's been in the last 20 years. And yes, I know they made him like speed champion, and that's kind of like, whatever, that's dumb or blah, blah, blah. I mean, but they were still trying to figure out something for him. And even if he got hurt, even if he, got the injury or whatever to get written off of TV by Braun Breaker, that even if they still did that and he re-signed, it would have gave him a great storyline coming back, and we would have had the opportunity to see Ricochet in a new light. Now, let's not sit up here and act like, there's people who they can't do anything with, but look at the Wyatt Six, who took people that they've signed, totally gave them a purpose. Look at Pete Dunne. They're still trying to roll Pete Dunne out there and make sure Pete Dunne works. You know what I'm saying? They keep trying out there, no matter what anybody thinks
really
about DIY or whatever, and I personally think they're better as solo acts. They're continuing to try to roll them out there. They would have kept trying to figure something out for Ricochet. He just wants to go out there and wrestle, and I get that, and I respect it, but I just feel like, to me, personally, this was backwards momentum. He went backwards to me.
Very true.
What's your thoughts, bro?
Can I chime in real quick on
no,
what
please,
you
go
said,
ahead.
House? Yeah. So I noticed the names you mentioned are all big NXT black and gold guys who were really established in that black and gold, and they were all really good talent. And what happened when they got brought up to the main roster? All those guys got lost by Vince in the shuffle, and they weren't given that proper push that they had when they were the guy in NXT. So I feel like, Pete Dunne, hell of a talent, but he was lost in the shuffle. Yep. Ricochet, Aleister Black, DIY. These guys are really good wrestlers, but when they came up and it was Vince's time to put them into the play, they got lost in the shuffle. And even today, they're still dealing with that loss in the shuffle.
No,
but they're getting better.
Yes, they are.
They are.
I mean,
to be able
go
to
ahead,
recoup,
Grind.
to be able to recoup talents, it can take years. It can really take years. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
True.
Another name that I think we need to mention is Shinsuke Nakamura, who he has kind of been lost in the shuffle, but at the same time, I think Ricochet should maybe learn something from, because Shinsuke, he's on record, or at least it's been implied that he's happy signing the new contracts and barely doing anything because he loves living in the United States. He loves living in Florida. He loves what he's able to do.
He loves his life
outside
of wrestling.
Yeah, it's like he's happy with what he has, and it's like, you know what? Not just to pro wrestlers, but anybody, being happy with what you have, sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's like, if you keep looking for greener pastures, you're probably never going to be happy.
And, here's the thing. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Mercedes Moné. I mean, need I say more? More? Who I feel, personally, the more and more I investigate this Mercedes Moné run, and I love Sasha Banks. I love Mercedes Moné. I love her. I really do. I truly, truly do. But WWE protected her weaknesses in a big, big way, and we're seeing her get exposed. Absolutely exposed. I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I am not hating on her. This is what we do on this show. We talk about the real stuff, and we're honest about it. I can love you and still think that you're not good at what you do. You know what I'm saying? And I just truly think Goldberg and the WCW heavily protected by the company. WWE heavily protected Mercedes Moné, and now she's getting exposed. The grass is not always greener on the other side. Hype, where you at, man, with this whole scenario? I know you've been over there probably I know you are doing your thing, but I know you got some thoughts too.
Look, man, I'm just over here smoking and talking shit in my head.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, but like I think you guys are hitting on like the grass is not always greener on the other side, motherfucker. Sometimes you gotta fertilize your grass. Sometimes you gotta put work into your grass. You gotta water that shit. You have to cut it. You have to weed it. You have to maintain your fucking lawn. I know this ain't that kind of podcast, but like, bro, like we can't always be A1 negative about everything, right? Because man, you have to look at the positives that you get from things. Now, I know Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, had her qualms in WWE, but if we look on the flip side of that, Naomi, right there with her, had qualms. Right there with her was able to leave and come back. Yep. And not only come back, but come back bigger. Yep. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks to ever come back and be given that bigger spotlight and highlighted in a better way, because you have to utilize your assets correctly. And if you're not doing that, then it's not going to come across right.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I could definitely see I could definitely see a future where Sasha Mercedes does come back to WWE, but I got to tell you, I think she got a little bit of resentment towards the company because like she signed like a long-term deal with AEW, and sometimes she's not always like super complimentary when WWE comes up in interviews and stuff like that. So like I just think she's really betting on herself. And honestly, this hurts to say because I am a Sasha Banks fan, I think that she's believed in her own hype a little bit too much. I don't think that she's as good as she thinks she is. And I think WWE parting ways with her right now was really a good. You saw who left and came back, and you saw who just left. And I think that Naomi's run, let's compare the runs between Naomi and Sasha Banks since leaving the company really quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, Naomi proved, and I know I've said this on this podcast before, Naomi proved as somebody who has never been in the indies prior to her WWE career. She was not an independent professional wrestler. She was one of those few before the Next in Line program that WWE took in and was like, hey, we'll teach you how to do this. You know what I'm saying? She had no indie experience, but then she ended up going to the indies after the walkout that she had with Sasha Banks, and she was a staple in that TNA locker room, an absolute staple in an environment where people wrestle for many different promotions, and there's not really that longevity in indie promotion. She showed that she can be a culture changer in a locker room. She showed that she can stay consistent and stay committed to a company that isn't WWE. And I think she really, really skyrocketed her stock in her TNA run and then coming back to WWE. As far as Mercedes Moné goes, I mean, like, she's been really like pivotal with I'm good, I know my worth, yada yada yada. I'm gonna go wrestle in these different places because that's what I want to do, which is fine, no problem with that. Then her getting injured, I think, kind of hurt her stock. Then her anytime she's running her mouth about stuff, I think she hurts her stock a little bit more. And honestly, I just don't think she's as good as she thinks she is, and I think she believes in her own hype a little bit too much. I think that it would be better if she, and I think it's a situation where, honestly, she came up really high. You know what I'm saying? Like that Snoop Dogg's cousin, of course. You know what I'm saying? She did stuff like The Mandalorian, even though she had small roles. And here's the thing. Just because she was in Mandalorian and maybe some other stuff, that don't mean that she can act, because she can't act. I mean, respectfully, she cannot act, and I just feel like maybe she needs some more acting classes or something like that, like to help her out. And the wrestling, like, she's always been solid with her wrestling, but really the way that she is and the way that we're continuing to learn who Mercedes Moné is more and more as the days and the months and the years go along, I really feel like that there was a method to WWE's madness when they would put that title on her and then take it off of her in like her first title defense. I think there was a method to that, to where she was always a champion there in WWE, but she was never a long-term champion. And I don't know. I think there's some other stuff moving around in the background that maybe somebody's not talking about. I didn't want to make this a whole thing about ripping Mercedes Moné, but I got to keep it real and like, I just feel like
No, it needs to be done.
yeah, I just feel like my fandom of her has been deteriorating over the last couple years, and I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I agree with
Facts.
I mean, like, if you look at you mentioned the NIL next in line program, Naomi and with Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks may have done well because she was an indie wrestler, but look at Naomi. Like, while like I may not be a huge fan of hers, she has improved, and so has the process of the next in line program, because Braun Breaker and Tiffany Stratton are two prime examples of people that were not indie wrestlers, and yet because of the next in line program, because of how NXT is built right now, they have made huge stars out of these two young wrestlers who are 3 years in, and people are head over heels in love with both characters.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, and before we wrap this up, I just got to say this real quick, because I agree with everybody on this Mercedes Moné discussion. She is believing way too much of her own hype, and she is just buying into it. But that's not her fault. And I'm going to break that down real quick. It's Vince McMahon's fault, because if you look at it, he put her on a pedestal that she did not need to be at that moment. She needed to be humbled. She needed to be, because she was part of the 4 Horsewomen.
Yes.
Like, she was a movement in WWE, and that was fed into her ego, everything. And sorry, she has the type of personality that it seems that she fed into that. She believed it. She bought it. She bought every bit of stock of it and took it elsewhere. Naomi, on the other hand, came from a place that was not wrestling. So she had no clue of how the business was going to be. So she was just a dancer for who was it? Tyrus?
Orlando?
Yeah, Tyrus.
Yeah, the Funkasaurus. She was just a backup dancer. And then we seen that she had talent. She molded into something.
Yeah.
Vince wasn't, he was a part of that, but she had no idea what the business could be. So when she left, she became a talent. She took her own self and she made herself a thing. WWE seen that. AEW seen it in Mercedes, but AEW does not have the creativity to make Mercedes Moné or Ricochet look like a true champion. They don't have it. I'm sorry. That's where my end is with AEW on that. Until they get creative people in there writing creative stories with direction and not just, hey, here's a line, go out there, do what you want. I'm sorry, Mercedes Moné, I would much rather listen to Def Karaoke than Mercedes Moné on a mic. The fucking Def Karaoke. And if it wouldn't get me canceled, I would give you an example of it. But it would get me canceled. So it won't.
He's like, nope. All right, man.
This guy's learned.
We don't want to
That
get
guy
canceled.
up there.
My
Need more
man.
sponsors.
My man. All right. So, okay. We're going to continue this conversation. I think there's still a conversation to be had. I don't want to just, like, I do want to talk a little bit all in as far as matches that, like, we are excited about and whatnot, because there are some matches in there I really am excited about. Then we still have Smackdown that we're going to talk about. We have our great guest here. That's THELEW. We're going to continue this conversation when we come back, because now we got to take a break. We got to pay a few bills. And when we do come back, this conversation will continue in your house.
A-N-I-S. Anus. Bam. 800 points. That's game.
It's not how you spell anus.
I went to Ivy Tech for 2.5 years, bro. I can spell anus.
You know what? I know an expert in this field.
I think I know who you're talking about.
What are you guys doing? We gotta go play Harvest Fest. I'm in here getting all of our gear, and you guys are here playing Scrabble? Again?
You know what, Maddie? You can settle this for us.
Yeah, how do you spell anus?
I'm not going to settle another Scrabble discrepancy for you guys. That's the third time this week.
Calm down, Maddie. Harvest Fest isn't until September 14th. Gates open at 4 p.m.
Yeah, at the Miami Open Air Auditorium. Google for directions.
Are you telling me that Harvest Fest X is not until September 14th? Featuring bands such as Dwarf Among Midgets, Forgotten Ashes, Tight Like a Tiger, GPD, Resonate, and Patron? September 14th?
I'm hungry.
Shut up! There's gonna be food at Harvest Fest. The lunch break's coming down, and they're gonna make delicious burgers!
I'm not having fun anymore.
Fun? You wanna have fun? Well, I got a doozy for you, because the Kokomo Press is coming out, and they're gonna have stand-up comedians. We're talking Sean D., Pierce Clott, Michael Howard, Greg Lindberg, Alexa Eden, Davey Moomaw, Jordan Granger, Jacob Harder, Brian Allen West, and Dan Alton.
Say it, don't spray it.
Maddie! Bro.
Since you put it that way, bro. You know, you're right. You guys... I'm sorry, guys. I shouldn't have blown off the handle like that. Here's how you spell anus. A-N-U-S. Just think about it like I do. The way I remember it, it's an United States, right? So, anyways, I'll see you guys September 14th at Harvest Fest X at the Miami Open Air Auditorium. Google for directions.
Bring a tent.
I don't get it. In United States.
Hey guys, it's your boy the Director, Con House of In Your House, and I'm here to let you know about a small business that produces beard products and also supports small stage, independent, professional wrestling stars. It's called Ring Master Beard Company. Try one of their several scents, beard oils, balms, or mustache wax, and keep your beard looking and feeling sweet. Purchase your favorite wrestlers or personalities' personalized scent, and they receive a portion of each sale. And with that being said, don't forget to pick up a bottle of the Director in Alacon House Special. Your boy, a blend of eucalyptus, mint, and tea tree oil. Have your beard feeling fresh. Have your beard feeling smooth, just like your boy, the Director. Follow Ringmaster Beard Company on Twitter and Instagram at Ringmaster Beard, or on their Facebook page, and that is Ringmaster Beard Company. Check it out. Get your beard cream. Hit your beard with that. Because sometimes being a master in the ring means mastering your beard. Welcome back to In Your House, and guys, you already know, you guys got awesome stuff to look forward to if you're in the Kokomo area over there for Harvest Fest X, and man, that's going down on the 14th. But remember, guys, on the 15th, you guys out there in the household, we're about to be announcing something big, something really huge. That's our live on location house party. That's gonna, I'm telling you guys, September 15th, you want to lock in, because this is going to be huge. This is going to be one of the biggest things that IYH has ever done, and you guys are most definitely going to want to be a part of that. And guys, if you guys are in the AEW crowd, honestly, you might have already turned us off, because we've been shitting on y'all stuff this first half of the episode.
We really have. So if you're an AEW fan here in the household and you haven't already turned us off, congratulations on having tough skin. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Because we are going to talk good about your product for sure, most definitely. Because the wrestling is good. The wrestling is good, and I think that this card is really good. Hype, could you bring that card up again? Thank you, bro. I mean, it's a good-looking card. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. I think it was Hype to mention the excitement.
It's stacked. They're always stacked, bro.
Yeah, for sure. You was talking about your excitement for Swerve and Danielson. That's going to be good. We could just start right there, to be honest with you, and we'll just work down from there as far as everything that's relevant to us. So this match is going to be great. I don't know, man. I don't know if this is it for Danielson. It don't feel like it's it for Danielson. I don't know what you guys have thought about Swerve's title reign. I know that so we're excited he's champion. No issues with that or anything like that. But has this title reign hit to a point that you think that he's deserving of Bryan Danielson's career? Voice, I see you over there shaking your head. You got some thoughts, bro?
I hate how AEW went with Swerve. I wanted this right after Swerve won the title.
Okay.
Versus Bryan Danielson, because right there, that was when we finally found out, because then you wouldn't have to put this moniker on it, title or career. You know, you would be able to just have a match that we know is going to be amazing. Swerve, I will say this about Swerve. He has taken his title run and he has made it very him. He has done everything that he's possibly capable of. When he's in front of a camera, he makes the most of his time. If they give him 3 minutes, he makes you feel like you had 10 minutes of excitement. Swerve does bring a level of excitement to this championship. I just don't think that this match needs that stipulation in it. You're going to have a great match regardless what happens. I really don't know, because it's very confusing if you're going to give Danielson the title. Yeah. Because isn't he on his farewell tour? Isn't he doing Cena?
Yeah. Can I jump in with some breaking news real fast?
What do you got?
Yeah. It looks like Swerve Strickland has just re-signed with AEW.
Oh, okay.
This is as of this is about 25 minutes ago, in a build up to All Out, which will be the main event, title versus career. Bryan Danielson. And it looks like Strickland said that he was in renegotiation stage with AEW, or apparently during an interview with Barstool's Sports Wrestling podcast. But look.
Oh,
wait a minute. Bruzy has some more breaking news. I swear, there it is. Contract signed there.
Yeah.
Bruzy. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Bruzy says AEW Grand Slam 2025 comes to Suncorp Stadium, and they're going to Australia in February.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Look at AEW making big moves, bro. Like just moving.
I'm not
mad at it at all, bro. These are very positive things.
Look at
the crowd. I mean, it's not crowd. Looking bad. Yeah, we can't keep this up for long, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's still the pre-show, but I mean, like you'll have all the seats filled by the first match.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Lou, what are you thinking, man? What's your thoughts on this show here? Is there any match that's really like I know you're kind of with us as far as the AEW stuff, but like, is there anything as far as that card that's like jumping off to you that's like, dang, I actually would want to watch that?
I mean, definitely I'm looking at MJF versus Will Ospreay. I mean, those are two guys that can go. I mean, as far as AEW, as the package of AEW, I mean, MJF is always a guy that's at the top of the list of, guys I want to watch, I want to hear, especially what he has to say. I mean, MJF and Will Ospreay for the American Championship sounds like a great match. They're going to go. Both of them can go. And, but as far as I wanted to touch in on the Danielson part with Swerve as well, because, it sucks that it's title versus career, because you always hear those things that, when you hear career on the line, it usually is going to go towards that champion's way, especially with Swerve just being announced that he's re-signed with the company. I've heard news of Danielson. He wants that final tour. He wants to get home, spend time with his family, spend time with his, his kids. I don't want to say that this is it today, but it very well could be. This could be Danielson's last hurrah out there at All In, and you could see the end of for Bryan Danielson tonight.
And what a way to
What was that, Captain?
Captain Lou Albano. Yeah, you kind of got it going on right now with the name. Yeah. And the shirt.
The shirt and everything.
We just need to get that goat.
There you go.
Lou,
It's hard to grow this.
Lou, I wanted to ask you.
He was a great Super Mario.
Lou, I wanted to ask you, since you pitched the Osprey MJF match, how have you felt about the build up to this match on both sides? Do you feel like one side is carrying this build up more than the other?
Well, I mean, I don't mind Osprey on the mic. He can go on the mic, but obviously when you're going up against a guy like MJF, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. For me, as far as the buildup, I haven't seen much of the buildup, but knowing how Osprey is, he's still going to have his demeanor, his strength as far as with MJF. So that's why I feel like these two guys, mic-wise, yeah, I'd give to MJF, but movement-wise, I'd give it to Will. You're going to see Will, putting MJF in some tough situations, I feel, later on today. So I feel it's going to be a good match.
Yeah.
I think this is very much so a match that people have watched for what one person will say and will watch tonight for what one person will do. And that's a very weird dynamic we have in this match, which I've kind of enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this night goes. I mean, there's so much moving with this card for sure. I mean, like Lou mentioned, MJF, Will Ospreay for the American Championship. You still have a Casino Gauntlet for a future AEW World Championship match, so they're keeping those stories hot. Toni Storm versus Mariah May. I know that's one right there. I love me some Toni Storm. Voice, I know you love Toni Storm. Is this a match you're like really looking forward to, man?
I really am, because the build for this match has been fantastic. This has been actual storytelling. And who's the one to say they've got the upper hand in that? I mean, honestly, if it's me, I'm saying Toni Storm, but I'm also seeing what Toni. Okay, so you have the cell, and that's Toni Storm and what she's doing on a mic and in a ring and everything around her that she's just bringing to her cell is just banging. Like, they are doing amazing things. I mean, we had somebody take a stiletto and jab it into Toni's forehead and cause blood. I mean, that right there, like, if women's wrestling got to that level, thank God that they got to that level, because that, to me, if you're not a woman out there and you've been in the public and somebody has made you so upset that you did not want to take your stiletto off and just, stab them a little bit.
Drive it in their head, bro.
Exactly. We all know. We've all had those feelings. I've just never thought about it with a stiletto, but I enjoyed it. But Toni, when she's on a mic, it's magical. When she's in a ring in a match, she really brings an element of fun and also an element of, I know what the fuck I'm doing out here. And my opponent and me are about to give you at least a half an hour of pure magic in a ring.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting match for sure. With AEW, for a long time, the criticism with them has very much been, their booking of their women's division. and it seems like things are starting to move a little bit better. And it's like, and you know what? I'm going to be fair with AEW here, because I just said it with WWE when Lou had brought up all those talents that came up from the NXT roster, and then they were booked weird because they went from Triple H to in the hands of Vince. And now even years later, we're still trying to fix and revamp some of these characters that Vince kind of messed up. Same thing with AEW. Fixing a women's division is not going to happen overnight. It's not something. It takes time. No. It takes patience. It takes you wanting to. It takes a want to improve your women's division. You got to want to do it. And I think that they hear the noise. I think AEW hears noise, and I think that they're trying to fix it. Like I said, they're trying to supplement it with a story here between these two. Mariah May, she wasn't really well known before this. Her stock is starting to rise because of it.
No.
So that's good. But I got to ask, somebody who we talked a little bit about a couple of weeks ago, actually just last week, as far as 5 names that we're hearing or I'm seeing. And for me, I brought up somebody who I don't watch, but I started seeing a lot in headlines, and that's Jack Perry. He's going up against Darby Allin in a coffin match for the AEW TNT Championship. Grunt, I'm going to throw it to you, man. Like, is there any excitement for you for this match? Is this something that you're looking to see? I know Jack Perry isn't somebody that people are vibing with, but is there excitement for this match?
Honestly, no, because I figured Darby Allin has no interest in being world champion. He has no interest in. I don't believe he has any interest in winning titles. I think he just wants to be the modern day Jeff Hardy, and it's like, that's great. But here's what's disappointing is that I didn't fall in love with Darby Allin just because of the extreme stuff. It was the matches he was having with Jon Moxley where hey, you have to obey the rules, and it's like, holy shit, Darby Allin can wrestle. And he's got the cough drop. Yeah, that's great. He's also got, what's he called? The Last Supper pinning maneuver. It's like, that's something that excited me about AEW. Yeah. Was that the wrestling, the storytelling. Like, hey, these guys may be scrawny, but they have made new pins that they win with all the time. So it's like, oh, this is a way to kind of circumvent the idea of having a finisher that puts everyone away with a pin that always works.
Yeah.
But this coffin match, like, it should be fun. Jack Perry, from something else I saw is that it's kind of true. He doesn't have a personality without being scapegoat, without the CM Punk drama. He doesn't have a personality, and he's dating one of the women that probably has the most personality outside of Saraya and Britt Baker, and that is Anna Jay, who I'm like, Anna, why the hell are you still here? Why? Like, go to WWE.
Yeah, why? Grunt's available. That.
You were talking contract.
I would love to be Jack Perry dating Anna Jay, okay? She is gorgeous.
Sure.
Man, I gotta say, man, it's so. Yeah, I guess people aren't thinking Jack Perry's hitting in a major way, So there's that. Darby Allin, he's kind of fallen off with me a little bit. I just don't see the point of what he's doing anymore. Like, they had him with Sting for such a long time, and then Sting was like, you know what, I'm gonna call it, and then it's like, I don't know what he's doing next. But I want to see specifically, because we talked about this heavily. Lou, where are you at with this Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné match for the AEW TBS Championship? Mercedes Moné coming in, she's the TBS champion. She's very polarizing. We do know that about her. But also Britt Baker, she's become a little bit of polarizing as well with, some backstage antics and whatnot that we're hearing about. A lot of things going on here with these two polarizing ladies. Do you think this match is going to hit? Are you excited for it? What's your thoughts on that match as a whole? Like, where are you looking forward to it?
Well, one thing you did touch on earlier is, even with how Monet has been, viewed as, her on the mic, backstage, she can get in the ring and wrestle, right?
Yeah.
And Britt is the same, bred from that. She can get in the ring and wrestle. I think these two will put on a great match. It's just a shame you kind of nailed it with and Grun's last topic too with Jack Perry. It seems like sometimes AEW has these builds because of backstage bullshit.
Yeah.
That's a shame, because instead of building in the ring, on the mic, with a story, it seems like these guys are just riding these backstage, drama. So it's a shame in that sense, because Jack Perry and Darby Allin, that could be a good match too. Like Grun said, Allin seems like, we talked about those guys in the mix, and there's some guys that just want to stay in the mix and they don't want to branch out anywhere else. And Darby seems like that guy. But again, Monet, Britt in the ring, I think is going to be a great match. I think they're both going to do what they both do best. They're going to put on a good match. It's just a shame that, when you bring up Monet, when you bring up Perry, it's always the backstage stuff. It's never the in-ring.
Yeah, that's always tough, man. That's always tough, because you want to focus on the product in the ring, man. So I don't know. Hype, did you have any thoughts? Did you want to build on any of that as far as those matches?
I really hope this is a good match. Y'all know how I felt about Jack Perry for a long time, and I felt like that before it was cool to feel like that. He just reaffirmed that. Like, I think he's plain and boring, and I don't know. He burnt a belt, and now he has a burnt belt or something. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Darby's going to jump off some cool shit and almost kill himself, and that's going to be amazing. I love that, but it's not going to make me feel for Jack Perry more. And I like both Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné, and I hate the bullshit that's been attached to this feud, because it seems like a direct parallel of what's going on in AEW, and what does go on. And I feel like it's a weak way to have a feud. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Like I said, most of this, I want to say, top half of this card or what have you, incredible. I got a free afternoon right now, kind of things are kind of caught up. Do I want to try to watch this? I'll be honest, I'm not paying no $50 damn, so take that for what you guys will out there in the household. So I'll find a way to watch it. But there is the rest of the card, the filling out versions of the card, enough to make me want to give my afternoon to this? And that right there is going to be the question. And I want to pivot real quick. We're going to stay with AEW in a little bit. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to talk Smackdown. But I want to pivot a little bit to the Casino Gauntlet match that's happening, because there is something on the line here. This is for a future opportunity for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, which means this is a meaningful match. This means this match is very meaningful, because we know that there's going to be a title shot for somebody here. Now, as far as the participants go, I don't exactly know the participants. I had to look it up, and it said that confirmed entrants in this are Adam Page, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, Evil Uno, Dustin Rhodes, Roderick Strong, and there's supposed to be surprise entrances, including the heavily rumored Ricochet could be showing up. I guess Ricochet. I want to ask the panel here: is there anybody in those names that I just said that gets you excited about a future AEW title shot? I mean. And not only that, do you think they have a shot at actually winning it? As soon as I saw Adam Page, I was like, ugh, I don't want to have to survive through another Adam Page possible title feud. I'm personally, I'm over Adam Page. But, and Ricochet coming in and getting a title shot that quick, don't want to see that. I mean, that's just me as well. Maybe Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe would be kind of sweet,
feel good moment.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Maybe Dustin Rhodes. I don't know. I don't know. Voice, what you think, man? Out of the names that I said, or maybe a name that I didn't say.
Honestly, I've been championing this dude for a long time. I mean, he's actually, him and his brother's flags right above my head every podcast I do.
Yeah.
And that's Briscoe, man. I want to see it. I want to see the run. I want to see them. Yeah, I would love to see it. It's just that family has given so much for this industry and have given us so many amazing matches, amazing moments, just fun energy on a promo. I mean, come on, they don't even put their teeth in, man. They're just them, and that's the Briscoes. Yeah. So I would love to see that. Outside of that, I mean, I don't even really understand this idea. I mean, I get that WWE has taken a lot of things and they've trademarked it and things like that. So using some of the names, but like if you're going to do a Casino Royale gauntlet, whatever it is, why wouldn't you do it in Vegas or somewhere in Jersey or, somewhere that like is known for casinos? Right. I've never been like, hey guys, you want to go to a casino? Yeah, let's go to London. No. So, and I guess I don't know. I hope it's a great match. I really hope this is a great show for them. Yeah. I truly do love AEW. I mean, anybody in the household, if you think that I'm just completely negative on AEW, you haven't looked into all the back catalogs of all the shows I've done. I really was hype on AEW. I was a huge Collision fan. But like I said back in the day, they kind of took me out of it. They took me out of it. I didn't just stop watching. They just kept producing stuff that did not make sense to me. And as an average fan, you got to keep me hooked. I got so much shit I got to watch. You got to keep me hooked with your product.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I like what Bruzy is saying here as far as like talking about Jericho earlier. He needs to be more like Dustin Rhodes there and willing to help, but not one of the contenders. Yeah, like definitely build talents up. That's a good thought. I like that. Grun, what about you, man? Is there anybody in this Casino Gauntlet match that you're like, I want to see them win it, or I'd be excited to see them not only win it or become champion? And is it in this list, or is it somebody outside of the already confirmed list?
It is someone in this list, Con. You're not gonna like the answer.
Who is it?
Hangman Adam Page.
Oh.
And I hear what you're saying. They've done a lot with the Swerve and Hangman storyline. I think them doing Swerving heel face, giving on like I think no matter what, we've seen Swerve being Swerve, and I think it's been good. But I think his best matches have been against Hangman, and Hangman does have that, and it does have that thing where Swerve has never beaten Hangman clean and without help. The closest Swerve has come is a time limit draw that Hangman refused to go 5 more minutes because Hangman didn't have anything to prove in that. Yeah. Swerve had everything to prove.
Yeah.
So I think that we are going to see Swerve and Hangman at All Out. Because with only a couple weeks to go till All Out, it's the only one that makes sense. It's the one where this is one of their big pay-per-views, and right after another one of their big pay-per-views. So I think they need to change up the order of these pay-per-views because, it's the only one that makes sense. It's the only one that makes sense. As far as who wins, I don't know. Maybe Hangman. Maybe.
Yeah, possibly Hangman. Like I
said,
this
dude a writing job.
Yeah, somebody. Grant knows his stuff, but like for me personally, I'm just so I don't know. There's something about Hangman that just turns me off, and during his title run, I still wasn't impressed with him because, like, I feel like he never fully, like grew into being a top guy like he was being positioned into being. And that's where I really started to disconnect. Lou, I'm going to throw it to you, my man, our great guest. What do you think, man? Is there anybody in that list or maybe outside of that list you think that could win this thing?
You know, I kind of do agree with Joseph. I think we all kind of said it. Briscoe, it would be a good feel-good story to see him, you know, get a title shot. Hangman, you know, it's funny. We just talked about the AEW back room and the controversy that, you know, surrounds it. You know, when Hangman had the belt, what was the big story then with CM Punk? You know, what happened again? Another, you know, backstage altercation when it came to, you know, CM Punk's prior friend. I forgot his name, but you know what I mean? So, like, again, Hangman having the belt, it's something that you kind of have to grow into, and I don't think he was that guy. I will touch on, I agree that I don't want to see Ricochet show up to this and win this, but Colt Cabana, thank you, Colt Cabana. I don't want to see it, but then again, Swerve and Ricochet would be a fantastic match. So, and knowing how Tony Khan is, let's be honest, I wouldn't even doubt Ricochet showing up to this, being in the ladder match, winning, and we get ourselves set up with Swerve versus Ricochet. It honestly would not surprise me the way they have built, you know, their shows around, you know, as a quick title hit, bring Ricochet in, get him introduced, go crazy in the casino battle royale, and then just have the title match, you know, Swerve versus Ricochet, you know, going at it. It wouldn't surprise me if Ricochet did show up and win this.
You know, now that you mention it like that, it wouldn't shock me. My only issue with it is where I agree with you. The Swerve, like a Swerve Ricochet match, that'd go hard. That'd be a crazy match, but it'd just be another situation where Tony Khan just blew his load way too early, you know, and I just...
Which he always does.
Yeah, he seems like the type for sure. He definitely seems like the type. But like, I don't know, man. Like I said, the
man ain't never gonna satisfy a woman.
Ever. He seemed like the type. I'm just listen. All right, I'm gonna say it for what it is. He seemed like the type that would blow his load putting the condom on. So.
Oh, you killed Grun. You killed Grun.
So I'm gonna throw
Tony Khan won the best match ever every week on Dynamite and on Collision. And on Rampage. And on every... It's like, dude, you have a stacked roster.
Yeah,
you have a stacked roster, dude. But you know what? WWE has a stacked roster, too. Do you see them trying to put on the best match every fucking week? No. Nope. Because they don't have to. Because they are good at fucking storytelling. And
Bingo.
And you AEW marks out there, don't come at me like, what the Tony Storm or that's one story. MJF one story, and all of MJF's stories need MJF.
Oh, damn.
MJF knows how to.
Grun just blew his load.
He did.
About we hate AEW. It's like, no, AEW doesn't know what they're fucking doing with storytelling. They don't know what they're doing. Okay, that is our problem.
That's our right.
You have great matches every fucking week. Why do I think the Blackpool Combat Club and House of Black don't fucking matter anymore?
Jesus Christ. You're not even playing Call of Duty or drinking. You're right. You're very right.
I'm still raging from last night a little bit.
Yeah, man. That's fantastic, Grun.
But he's not wrong. Like, I didn't hear... He wasn't wrong. Like... It's all about you can have the best stars in the world, you can have the best in-ring product, but if we don't care, what's the point? And guys, anybody out there that's listening, that's new, that doesn't know our background, or whatever, because I know we have a lot of longtime listeners that know, what myself does in the business, what somebody like Hype does in the business, Voice has done some work in the business and whatnot. We've heard this same thing from very, very smart people in the business, that if people do not care about what you are doing, it doesn't matter how great the wrestling is. It doesn't. You got to pull them in. You got to make them care. That's my issue. That's my problem with the whole Ricochet situation, is that Ricochet is a fantastic overall competitor. Many argued that he was possibly like the best overall wrestler in the company, especially at high flying. Zeroing in on high flying, he was definitely that guy. But this guy can't tell you a story like that. Like, the biggest thing that he did was with Logan Paul, and Logan Paul was the main point of that match. If anything, honestly, Logan Paul helped out Ricochet from that feud, because more people cared about Ricochet after that feud than they cared about before it, because Logan Paul is polarizing and people care about Logan Paul. And caring about somebody doesn't mean liking them. Caring about them even means hating them. You know what I'm saying? But you still care in a way, and that's something that a lot of talent, that is lost on a lot of talent in AEW. It's lost on them. They think they're just going to go out there, get their shit in, and have a banger for 15 minutes and like, oh, I did my job. Well, yeah, you did half of your job, because the other half is making the people in the crowd care and hooking in more fans and keeping people coming back next week. That's the name of the game. So, we're about to take our break here, our last break. But before we do that, I'm going to throw it to my producer here, Hypocrisy Jones, and get his thoughts. Who do you think is going to win this Casino Gauntlet match, man? Is it somebody that's been announced, or do you think it's somebody that hasn't been announced?
I think Hangman Adam Page is a very, very strong possibility as a winner in this Gauntlet Battle Royale, and that's just if I'm looking at the card as a whole. If I'm also looking at the AEW World Championship match, we know that Hangman is on a warpath straight to Strickland. They're gonna recross paths. It has to happen at some point. And I think that this is the lane for it, but it may. This is where I'm torn on this match, right? On both of these matches, because one outcome kind of helps me predict the other outcome. If Hangman wins, then I feel like Swerve is going to win the world title match, right? But if Hangman doesn't win, I feel like Swerve is going to lose. Brian is going to continue with his retirement, and we're going to get Swerve and Hangman. And I feel like that may be the smartest way to go about it, but I'm not sure. I'm torn.
Yeah.
And long-winded.
No, no, you're good, bro. No, you got to get your thoughts out there, but I don't know. Like I said, it's going to be interesting. Listen. We've talked a lot here and there. Went back and forth with AEW. I still go back to the thought that no matter what we've said, derogatory, or what our AEW listeners, our AEW fan base that listens to us feel like what might be derogatory, I still think this is going to be a good show. I really do. It's going to be a fun show. The crowd's going to be great. The matches are going to be great. And whatever stories that they do have, they're going to either move them along, or we're going to see
remember this.
Yep. I remember that, Bruzy. I do remember that. And yeah. NWA is a promotion that, it seems like it's hit its peak, and it's where it's at, it's where it's going to be. But if every now and again they'll put a little bit of magic together that'll make you, like you said, care. Like Nick Aldis versus Tim Storm, or when they had Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes for the NWA Championship, and then Cody Rhodes won it, and then Nick Aldis won it back. This is obviously before they were both back with WWE, or with WWE in Nick Aldis' case. You gotta make them care. You gotta make them care, and that's just one big thing about it. But we've talked enough AEW. We've made most of this episode about AEW. We don't ever talk this much AEW when we do one of our shows. So like, it's only right that we take it back to WWE, to the company up north, and that of course is WWE, because we got Smackdown to talk about in Bash in Berlin. That's going to be going down this coming Saturday. So before we talk about that, we're going to take a final break here, pay a few bills, and when we do come back, we're going to continue our discussion, but this time we're going to pivot to WWE.
Hello everyone, it's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
Do you like comedy? Have you ever done it? Have you ever thought about going up on stage and telling some of those jokes that your family and friends just love to hear? Well, now you have the opportunity. Every Thursday night, starting February 15th at Cooper's Pub, we are doing an open mic. The Kokomo Press is doing an open mic at Cooper's Pub in the downstairs comedy den. It's going to be awesome. It's going to start at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, February 15th. And we're going to be doing open mic with 10 to 15 spots for each comedian at 5 minutes a spot. Do not hesitate to sign up. Sign-ups will be at 7:30 physically down there in the bar. Or if you want to, you can sign up early. All you have to do is message our page at the Kokomo Press. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have drinks and we're going to have food specials. And it's all a part of Cooper's Pub. You just go straight in, and instead of making a right, you make a left, you go downstairs, you make a left, and you're right down there in the comedy den. Myself and Brian Allen West are excited to see you, and we'll also have friends that you may know, like Jordan Bell, a.k.a. Hypocrisy Jones, Sean Dalrymple, a local comedian we love, and even Courtney Richardson. You're going to see us all out there. We're going to be having a blast. And again, it starts February 15th, but after that, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the comedy den downstairs at Cooper's Pub. Hope to see you there.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House, and I'm glad we got this up here. I'm glad that we got this up here because I actually wanted to talk about this for a second. So we talked about who would be who in the Aqua Teen Hunger Force on an episode of In Your House, and we broke it all down and talked about who was who, and actually. Long time listener, and also has done a lot of graphics for the show as well. Jimmy Trunks caught wind of what we were talking about, and he actually made this himself and sent it to me. And this is just perfect. There I am over there. I'm Frylock. There's Hype over there, looking crazy right now. Is Master Shake.
Master Shake, fuck them kids.
and then here's voice over here, Meatwad. I don't know, that face that you're making as Meatwad is killing me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I ain't got no brains, Frylock.
Oh man, yo, you gotta get Jimmy to send us the logo here, because that's hot. We got to start using that from now on.
For sure. Look at Grunt.
I dig that.
Look at Grunt as Carl.
Grun's my favorite as Carl.
And then
you are such a Carl.
And then we got Annie and P over there in the corners there as the Moonanites. It's crazy. Yeah. Brucey says, did Carl even change?
Carl even changed.
Dead.
That's great. It's so perfect.
I love it, Grund. With your rant today and you just being Carl in this image, oh my God, it's full circle, dude.
Absolutely.
Perfect. It is perfect. I love this. I just want to throw it out there real quick because Jimmy did it. We appreciate you, bro. And we'll definitely use this. Like,
We're
most
keeping
definitely.
this.
Yeah, that's a keeper, bro. So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was awesome. But this episode's been awesome with our fantastic guest, THELEW. He's been amazing and giving great insights and his thoughts on wrestling. It's been really awesome. And that's not going to stop. We still got a little bit of time left before we call this a really great episode. And that's going to involve us digging into a little bit of SmackDown. And we had the Grayson Waller effect, and that had Cody Rhodes on it. And I feel like there's a conversation that needs to be had, and I'm going to start it off with our great guest. Okay, so there's growing thoughts within the IWC, and I even saw one of our brother podcast, the Heated Shenanigans podcast. They talked a little bit about it on their past Friday night watch long episode. So I'm gonna take it to you, Lou, and then I'll take it to the rest of our great panel. There's growing suspicion that SmackDown is becoming more and more like going back to feeling like the B show, and some of that is because Cody Rhodes is the WWE Universal Champion, and that it just hasn't. I mean, as much as we love Cody, this is not me hating on Cody. I love me some Cody Rhodes, but it just doesn't feel as big because Cody doesn't feel as big as I think WWE would like him to be. What's your thoughts on that, man? Do you feel like SmackDown feels like the B show? Do you feel like that Cody Rhodes is a main event guy as champion, or are you feeling like the Bloodline storyline is the real story going on SmackDown? What's your thoughts? Give it to me.
Well, I think the issue, and not to bring this joke back,
I'll bring it back.
When Cody was finishing his story and he finished it, we blew our load.
Yep.
And we got hype. We were excited. Cody finally did it. He did it against Roman, who had a legendary run. It just hit. And now we're in that stage where, okay, where do we go now? Right? We've had Cody versus AJ. We've had Cody versus Logan. We're about to have Cody versus Kevin Owens. All great matches, all fun matchups. You know, the story with Kevin not wanting to be, fight Owens fight and powerbombing everybody on the apron is, it's there. But I think that's the biggest deal of why, everyone's trying to call SmackDown the B show. It's not a B show. You got two A top shows. They all got great talent on each side, great stories, great title matches, a lot of people behind those title matches that have a good opportunity to be the next guy in the match, right? I think it's just we blew our load. We got so excited that Cody did it. It's been done. And now we're kind of like, oh, well, now what? Oh, Cody's boring. Oh, we just have Cody versus Owens. We just have Cody. Like, we've got to get Cody. We got to give Cody a chance to get to some meat and potatoes of where this title run's going. It's too early to call it boring and just not a good run. We're just too early in that stage. Gotcha. So I don't agree. I think it's been a great show. The talent on both shows has been fantastic. Cody, we love Cody as champion. He's been amazing. I think people just need to calm the fuck down and let it happen.
That's always going to be a thing with the fan base, though. That's always for
it is. It is.
But you're not wrong, though. You're not wrong, though. It's a good it's a good thought to have. And like we still have the I think we still have Cody versus Roman 3 to look forward to at some point down the line. I think we still have Cody and Rock at some point down the line that we can still circle back to. But right now we just have to get to these matches. They supplemented us a little bit with Solo and Cody at SummerSlam, but let's face it, we know that match was mainly looking forward to Roman's return. I really feel like in my heart of hearts, honestly, and just being honest, I feel like the best of Cody Rhodes' title reign has yet to come. And it's crazy to say that, especially since like Gunther is our champion right now, and he's jumping right into a huge match this Saturday that's going to be with Randy Orton. And like it's a weird trajectory because like he's this is going to be his first title defense, and we're like, oh, we're super excited for this. title match and whatnot. It's going to be great. But then on the flip side of things, where we're looking at Cody, he's going to be going up against Kevin Owens. And while Kevin Owens' match is going to be great, it's still a case where it's like, this doesn't feel like it's the main, title, main number one storyline in WWE, which for a while there very much was the story, because the Universal Championship, historically, if you look at the history behind the title, is their most storied championship. You know what I'm saying? With all the history from the Ruthless Aggression era, all the history from the Attitude Era, the Golden Era, all past that links to that title. But what I do like about the World Heavyweight Championship is that they did link. I think they discontinued the World Heavyweight Championship in like 2004, I think it was. But they brought the history of it and brought it to that World Heavyweight Championship that you now see on Monday Night Raw. So I do like that. But it's just a weird trajectory for me. Voice, what are you thinking, man? Where are you at with the Cody Rhodes run right now? And I just want to get some of your thoughts on that before we really talk about this. This, Grayson Waller effect situation.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Lou and 90% of everybody out there. The biggest thing with Cody was to complete the story. He did that. Now the hard part is to figure out where it goes next. Yeah, of course we're going to have the obvious ones that are going to pop up. Yeah. But there's going to be I feel that in the next at least 2 defenses, if Cody remains our champion, in the next 2 defenses, we're going to see maybe one that we didn't expect, and it's going to be big, and it's going to make Cody's run look legit to the average fan, because right now that's what's not connecting, is your average fan with it. But is that Cody's fault, or is it the honor and the privilege to be telling a bloodline story that is so captivating that no matter what title you throw over there, it's going to be bigger than that title? I mean, look at what LA Knight's doing with his title. Yeah. And he's putting as much energy behind it and elevating it as much as he possibly can, but yet we're still drawn to the bloodline story no matter what it is. So I like Cody. I like what he did. I like the fact that we got Roman to take a break for a moment so we could miss Roman, so we could understand what his importance is to the role, because before Roman and Cody went, there was a lot of talk of Roman's title runs getting boring, stale, what have you. Like, what's he doing? And it was more focused on the bloodline storyline. Yeah. So right now, I think we really need to take a page out of what we've talked about, sit back, enjoy what we have right now, and see where he goes with it. Because this is all on Cody right now. You talk about it, Howse. I've talked about it. You get 5 minutes in front of that camera. That's your time to make that happen. Yeah. That's your time to make me believe in what you're giving me.
Hey, you're right. You make a good point. And it's just going to be interesting to see as time goes on, because I do like I see what they're doing with Cody. I totally get that Cody, they're wanting him to be a major player. It makes sense. I get it. He's smart about the business. He finally did what, respectfully his father couldn't do. It's just, I think people are just like, oh, we want to see him. And my question to those people out there is, and this is out to you guys out there in the household that are saying this, what's going to change your mind about the Cody storyline? What's going to change your mind about the Cody title reign, that is? What's going to pivot? Is it going to be The Rock returning? Is it going to be Roman shifting focus towards the title? What is it going to be? Let us know, in the comments, or let us know if you listen to the podcast version. Just hit us up and talk to us, But I do gotta say this, they're kind of intertwining this Grayson Waller thing with Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. That is, they're kind of intertwining it a little bit. You got Cody and Kevin Owens. They're situated. They're going to be moving into a tag match later on in the night. Where are we going here? Grun, with this? Like, are you What's your feelings on the Cody and Kevin Owens story right now? Because I all feel like I feel like that majority of us are like, oh, when's he gonna turn? It's gonna happen. But then on the flip side of things, the show is this Saturday. Would it even be a good idea for him to turn like on SmackDown and then just be a heel and then lose on Saturday? That seems weird to me. I don't know, but Grun, what's your thoughts on it?
Well, I do think that we are heading towards a more heelish Kevin Owens. I think we are. I think him bringing back the pop-up powerbomb is definitely a sign that we're going to get the real prize fighter Kevin Owens again, and soon. I think if we're gonna see that, we're probably gonna see it at Bash in Berlin.
Okay.
I think they're gonna save that because, I mean, you know what? Like, if you've been watching WWE the last 4 years, Kevin Owens has been doing a lot to try and protect WWE from the Bloodline. He has made a lot of sacrifices. He has gone to war with the Bloodline, really just to stop them, to stop Roman Reigns, to stop their reign of terror. So I mean, like, I don't see why you wouldn't reward someone who's being that selfless.
Yeah.
Everything that he had done, he was doing, it was to get the power away from the Bloodline. And with like Cody Rhodes, like his title reign, people need it's after WrestleMania. It was at a state where you just need to go along for the ride and enjoy it. That's okay. It is you just had the greatest roller coaster ride of all time, but the tickets are so expensive for that theme park. You can't go there again next year. You have to travel to other theme parks, other amusement parks, and yeah, they're not going to be as great. But you know what? They're there for your amusement. They're there for entertainment. So just enjoy the ride. Just enjoy the park. Enjoy everything that you have there. Because you know what? It's still going to be memories that you're going to look back like, you know what? That was a pretty good run by Cody after he beat Roman. You know what? Yeah, that was a pretty good run. He had a lot of great matches. And you know what? I'm cool with that.
You know, I could definitely see a reality where, like, we look back at the Cody Rhodes title reign, and we're like, yeah, that was a pretty good title reign. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes you have to look at things like, how is it going to be remembered? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think there's a lot of things, like, we could get recency bias, you know? Like, we see things and we're like, oh, that was the greatest thing I ever seen. Or, oh, that was one of the worst things I ever seen. And then maybe you let it marinate a little bit and you just, you know, maybe a few days go by, maybe a couple weeks go by, whatever. Or maybe it's done, it's over. Whatever it is, it's done. And we think whatever we thought was the greatest thing ever was like, you know, it really wasn't that good, you know? Or the thing that we thought was awful was like, you know what? It wasn't that bad. It was actually a little bit better than I remembered it being. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just all about, you know, how you look at things and perspective and time frame of things. So, like, it's just a thing where wrestling fans... Wow, Rosie just took the words right out of my mouth. Wrestling fans are never going to be happy. And they're fickle, for sure. And they're never going to be happy, especially in the moment. Something might be great in the moment, but then it'll suck later. Something might be awful in the moment, but then somebody will defend it later. So it's just always going to be a thing where people aren't, you know, they're never going to always be happy. But I will throw it to Hype real quick because I know he's got a lot of other stuff going, and he's going to be doing his thing, but also he's got stuff to do and meetings to go into and stuff for this big thing we're going to be announcing on, you know, September 15th. So, like, I just want to throw that out there. So we got to let him go, but I want to get your thoughts on the whole Cody thing before we let you go, man, and get your thoughts on where he's at on the title reign and everything that happened on SmackDown surrounding him and Kevin. Did it excite you for the match this coming Saturday?
Well, look, I think that Cody's title reign was destined to be lackluster in a sense in the eyes, because his whole entire title reign was built up around the best story we've ever seen probably in wrestling, period. Now where do you go from there? I mean, you know, that's like your best nut, and then being like, oh, let me try that again. It's not going to work right away. You need a 15-minute lapse period. At least I do, because you know, honesty. But we need this lapse period, and I think it's going to build. But Cody's story is not going to get better until the Bloodline story kind of finishes or goes into its own lull period. And let's be real, we haven't had a lull period from it. And I know people are going to be like, well, you know, Solo sucks, and we've said Solo sucks throughout this whole time we haven't had Roman, but it none of that has been a lull, because throughout all that, we saw him come to a rise of power. We saw him challenge Cody. We saw him introduce 3 new people into the WWE period. And it's just not 3 new people in his new group. It's 3 brand new people that we've never seen in the WWE. So he has added interest to it. Like I said, there has been no lull period with any of this Bloodline stuff, and that is why Cody's reign is looking a little lackluster, if I'm being real. But it's in the spot it's supposed to be, I guess.
No, that makes sense. I totally hear what you're saying, and I want to keep this conversation going. But before we do that and keep the conversation going and move along on Smackdown Hype, we'll go ahead and let you go, man. Let you do what you got to do. If you want to go ahead and plug anything that you want to plug, and then we'll continue this conversation.
Yeah. Yo. So my name is Hypocrisy Jones. You can find me right here on the In Your House network. I do a whole lot of shit, man. Like a whole lot of shit, whether it's behind the scenes, whether it's in front of the scenes, whether it's in your face, whether it's making flyers for things like that. I do a whole lot of stuff here, but I also do stuff with a group called the Kokomo Press, bro. So check me out there. We do a whole lot of stuff. We do a whole lot of stuff maybe in conjunction. While I'm talking about stuff that I do, let me talk about the Pope's point of view, because myself and the Concept Alicon House, we both work with Pope on his podcast. I do the video podcast, or the video interview series portion, and Alicon is the head producer for the audio, the actual podcast version of it. So we do a whole lot of work. And this week, Pope dropped that he just did an interview with I'm telling you, bro. He just did an interview with Vince freaking Russo, bro. Yo, it was a really, really fun interview. A really, really fun time. I got to piece that all together. So I know some secrets, I know some things, but I'm not going to tell you, because you got to go watch it. So go find that on Pope TV, on YouTube, or on anywhere that you get your podcast from. The audio version will be available too, bro. September 15th, we're going to drop live news about a special on-location house party. So stay tuned for that, bro. Stay tuned for that. Period, bro. Also, if you are in the Midwest Indiana area and you like comedy, come to a little place I like called Cooper's Pub. You saw the ad earlier. We do open mic comedy every Thursday night. It's a vibe. It's a fun time. I should have threw up the pictures from last week, man, because we get this thing packed just to tell some little jokes, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Yo. So, it's a very fun time. I do a whole lot of things. Plus, man, I got 6 kids and a real job. It's crazy. It is crazy.
So nobody out there in the household, you don't have no excuses for not following your dreams.
It's that part, bro. If you ain't chasing them, you ain't trying. But with that, my name's Hypocrisy Jones, and I'm out. And see y'all on the flip side. Yo, have a great rest of the show.
Peace out, bro. And we're going to do just that. That's a hell of a way to go out.
Yeah.
He got kids.
Oh my!
I did hear 6, right? He said 6.
6. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Damn.
Rosie, that's crazy. But
damn.
listen, we got to continue this. We got to continue this conversation going. We just talked to our man Hype. And we know that he has 6 kids, and that makes me wonder if he is a Samoan. And that's just a perfect segue to talking about this bloodline situation, because we have to talk about what happened in ring with Solo Sikoa and his bloodline. And I have to bring this up because it was an interesting point where we both know, or we all of us know, that it was actually Jacob Fatu who contributed to winning those tag team championships with Tama Tonga. And it was when Tongaloa was out on injury, so he entered the match. So technically Jacob Fatu is a tag team champion. But according to Solo Sikoa, he can't be a tag team champion and be Solo's personal enforcer. So he made him give that title up and give it to Tongaloa. That's I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that. I want to get your thoughts on it, Lou. Do you think that maybe we're seeing the beginning of something? I don't know. I don't think there was tension teased really like that. But like, do you think that there was something there that could possibly down the line at some point spark a Solo versus Jacob Fatu match or feud or something? And what do you think about that segment as a whole?
Well, I will say that, Solo taking that from Fatu, even though there wasn't sparks from it, that's the good thing about the bloodline storyline these many years. Sometimes where you don't see sparks, there's still something there.
Yeah.
Right. So for that, it to tell his man that, you're an enforcer and you can't hold this belt. Well, what does that mean for Fatu in the future? Is he able to go for a world championship? Is he able to go for, another major belt? So it kind of can sow a little bit of, hey, where's Fatu's mindset on what Solo just did for him, right? So, yeah, I would say, there was a lot of rumors, and I'm just basing this off rumors that, a lot of people were saying that Fatu would be the guy that would turn his back on Solo to aid Roman. And maybe that pinch of salt that we saw Friday night could be a planting those seeds. That could be that seed that you could say, well, it was small, but how does Fatu feel about that? So overall, the segment, Solo just doesn't do it for me as far as like his mic work. That's just something that personally I don't feel it. I'm excited for the story. I'm excited for the story that we're going to get, that we're building to. It's going to be a slow build. It's going to be a very slow build with getting these guys back into the rotation. But I love that we could see possibly that plant of salt right there with Fatu and Solo. I do like that.
Yeah, me too. I like that as well. Voice, you want to build on that, bro?
Yeah, I absolutely loved this interaction between Solo and Jacob. It really showed that Jacob is a different breed. He's a man who believes in his family, because whomever is who's ever the head of the table, in his eyes, is who he's falling behind, even though it killed him. You could see dropping that title meant something. Like it hurt him. Yeah. And that was, to me, the first time we seen a reaction. The dude broke his foot.
Yep. To be champion.
Okay. We've seen him out there in a boot, not knowing that his foot is broke. He has no reaction to that. But to have to drop that title, something that he actually proved a lot of people wrong, because we all know the things that happened in the indies with Jacob and certain promotions and things like that. That's beside the point. He just, to himself, he proved winning that title that he made his choices, and his choices got him to the dance. So therefore, Jacob feels vindicated, in my opinion, and this is all just me watching him.
Sure.
I feel that he feels vindicated in it, and those are his brothers who got him to there, who helped him, who gave up, put his name out there of next coming up. And so for him to drop that title, yes, it hurt, but it really did, like Lou said, set up something that we could be witnessing. Because, like I said, Jacob follows who's ever the head of the table.
Yeah.
If Roman comes back and he takes over that throne, now you have Jacob behind you as a warrior. And that's family, man. Like, you've seen what he's willing to do to his family and to others who come near his family. So there's something to be said about this whole interaction that we just seen and where it lines up later on in the Bloodline storyline.
Yeah, that's a good thought. That's a good thought. Grun, you got any thoughts?
Not really. No.
No. Are you not into the storyline?
I'm into it. I'm just like, I just wanted to. It feels like baseball right now, and I respect baseball. I respect its heritage, its lineage. But come on, let's speed it up.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, I got you. I'm with you. You're ready to. So yeah, I feel like with the whole Roman thing, like I was like, wow, because I honestly thought moving to that tag team title match, I honestly thought that Roman was going to get his get back by costing the Bloodline the championship and gifting it to the Street Profits. And so I kind of saw that coming. And then when that didn't happen, I was like, okay, so I guess they're going to keep the titles, But I really feel like that after Roman sustained that beatdown last week, I thought if he was going to get his get back, it would have been doing that and like, hey, all right, you hit me with the right, but let me take something that you value and really get you going and really get you mad. Lou, you had a thought? I saw you. What you thinking?
Well, so I was on the same page with you on that.
Yeah.
You kind of thought that maybe this was the moment that Roman could come out and not only they screwed Solo out of the championship, but then you screw them losing the tag team belts. But I mean, then again, it could set up for when Jimmy and Jay come back together, we get that matchup, that dream matchup of over the years of talking about Usos versus the GOD.
Yep.
We could get that matchup to build for the future as well for the tag team championships. Having the gold on the line would mean a lot in that Bloodline rivalry. So we could get that down the line too.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like that too. That's
I like this
because
too.
That is a dream match. That is a dream match that people have really been looking towards. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Fatu say I did it for the Rock. What if?
What if? Bruzy, let me tell you, if we were on a Window Lickers setup here, I have a drop exactly for that moment with the Rock imitating Rikishi and everything. So yes,
he sure does, man. It's great stuff. But like I said, I really felt like the Street Profits who have really, and me and Voice have been really singing the praises of the Street Profits since breaking away from the whole Bobby Lashley MVP thing, which seems like an ugly situation. Honestly, it's giving like the male version of like Sasha Banks and Naomi, where like MVP is like the Sasha Banks and like Naomi is the Bobby Lashley or vice versa, because it happened before. But like, I don't know. But basically me saying that is to say that since Street Profits kind of shedded that extra noise off of them, the WWE's like, okay, we see that none of that had anything to do with you guys, and we're going to put you guys in a prominent position again. So I thought that they might have got it, just because they let DIY win it on an episode of SmackDown, even though that was an episode of SmackDown that was overseas in Canada. I do think the Street Profits are going to touch that gold at some point. I think it's coming. I do.
Definitely.
I think that's going to happen. It's just they're waiting for a better moment, I think. So, I thought that this episode of SmackDown, it was another one of those episodes where it was like, okay, we kind of just got to move things along slowly but surely, because last Friday's was really good. I mean, we raved about last Friday's in a major way. I want to bring up real quick Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, Naomi going up against the Unholy Union and Blair Davenport. I like that this is starting to grow into a thing. I like that we're seeing more Blair Davenport, just because it was like, what are we doing with her? How are we going to put her on the card that's going to make sense? Putting her with the Unholy Union seems to really make a lot of sense. She fits that aesthetic in a major way. We really are, like, hungry for, I think we could benefit from another, like, big time, like, women's faction. We're starting to get more women's factions now that's coming together, but I really feel like you have something there with the Unholy Union and Blair Davenport. I really like the fact that the big three, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi, what I really loved, and I don't know if you noticed this, Voice, I saw it, and I saw it on some sites, all of their gear was different versions of Simone Biles' gear from the Olympics, and I thought that was fucking fantastic, bro. What you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I was actually going to bring it up if you didn't, because I think that type of actions need to be recognized more on a different level. Like, it needs to be highlighted, because things like that are, you have 3 dominant women in a wrestling organization, a promotion.
Yeah.
Respecting another dominant woman in her own field in gymnastics.
Yes.
And for them to link that together, that was great. I'm agreeing with you too with the Davenport addition. Like, that felt like a trios. Like, that really did feel like both teams felt like trios teams, and I really liked it. I liked the energy of the whole match. I thought there was a couple moments of not botched, but little fumbled moves, but that's going to come in time. Yeah, that's going to come in time with these guys. And here's the thing, though. Jade didn't have any.
And she's the
she
one that
did not
everybody
have
throws
any
in on.
missteps. And exactly. And I like that. I like that little thing. I mean, this match had so many little details for a guy like me who sits in his basement and watches wrestling every week and talks about it. That gave me a lot of hope for both factions to actually, like, come up this year. They're going to be the ones to watch. They're going to be the ones to hold titles. They're going to be the draws for a Smackdown. And it might get to a point to where you have to shift them over to Raw, because Raw's catching heat. It all depends on what happens in the next few months. Yep. But I really love this match. I thought it was one of the best matches of the night, to be honest.
They're getting there. They're starting to get better. Like, I think there's still those botches happening. I think I for one, my opinion is, I think there needs to start to be a conversation about Jade Cargill and her time with the company, because she's been there for about a year, and, like, we haven't really seen her, like, go off to the races by herself yet. And I'm like, okay, what are we doing here? Because as much as I like Jade, I'm a fan of Jade, it's just like, we got to get her on a trajectory by herself, because as much as I'm liking this whole big three thing with Jade and Bianca and Naomi, these 3 women are very much, like, can hold their own as single stars, you know, for sure. And I think that if you take the 3 of them, you can help kind of mold out that women's division a little bit better if you give them different spots on the card as opposed to staying together, you know. And I think that we got to see Jade stand on her own 2 feet at some point. It's going to have to happen. And I just don't want this to be a situation where WWE was like, hey, we took your shiny toy, AEW, we took Jade Cargill, but we really don't got no plans for her. We just wanted to take her so you guys didn't have her. You know, I think that she needs to get on a trajectory where we're seeing her in title match situations, where we're confident about her being in title match situations. And I'm not talking tag titles. I'm talking World Heavyweight Championships, where she can hold her own in the ring against Nia Jax, where she can hold her own against the ring with Liv Morgan, possibly, you know, in the future, Rhea Ripley again. You know, she's got to get there. And at some point, I think a real conversation is going to be had, because she's already zeroed in on everything she does. There's a microscope on it, because people are just waiting for her to mess up. They're waiting for her to fuck up. But, like, WWE has got to put her in a position where they're like, okay, we're going to have to take that heat for a while, and you're just going to have to, learn as you go and just get better, so that way we can stop pacifying you and we can treat you as a true top star. Grun, what's your thoughts on this match and the placement of the Big Three and the unholy union with Blair Davenport now featured in that stable?
Well, I hope that I hope that they actually start officially calling them the Unholy Union.
Yeah.
The trio. I think from what I saw the previous SmackDown,
yeah,
Blair Davenport needs a little bit more work, specifically with her finisher.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it looks good.
Yeah.
And it's like if Jade Cargill was hitting that move, I would think she's putting someone out because Jade has a much bigger physique.
Yes.
Blair's she's lengthy, but she's got long limbs, but she doesn't look buff.
Yeah, she's not as statuesque as Jade.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think Blair being one with Alba and Isla, I think that's going to help Blair. I think it's also going to help the Unholy Union as a trio get a little bit more over, being able to get over that we don't care that we're not the biggest, the strongest, the fastest. We're just the smartest because we outsmart you every time.
Yep.
And when it comes to Jade and Bianca, I don't think they're winning. I think that they're going to start building more towards Jade and Bianca going for singles titles. Now, there was rumors that WWE could be introducing a women's U.S. and Intercontinental title at some point. This could be how you can put a title on Jade and Bianca and still keep them friends and then still keep building towards that big match between the two of them. I think a lot more pieces are going to start moving in motion in the next few months for WrestleMania 41. And you know what? I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, me too, man. I definitely agree with that. I think you got a lot of good points there. I mean, because I think we're on the collision course towards a Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill match, possibly at WrestleMania 41. And
we got to be.
We got to be, right? And, it feels like with Bianca being Super Bianca, she definitely screams the babyface in that situation. And I think Jade could actually find her lane as a really good heel when that time comes, for sure.
That would be great.
I'm going to give it to our great guest here, Lou. What's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on the Unholy Union and the Big Three as we see it right now? What do you think we're working towards?
Well, I completely agree. We've got to get Bianca versus Jade at some point, and then maybe we're hitting Netflix and all these big things happening for WWE.
Yeah.
I think that would be a big push for the women's portion of these shows. You have these two great women that they kind of they're kind of identical in a sense of what they can do in the ring. So it would be a fantastic match. I do want to touch on with the whole rumor with the belts. I don't want this to become like a AEW type situation where we just bring in belts to just put on people to, maybe they can stay over here and then Jade could be, Jade's over here, Bianca's. I think that's too clogged up. I would rather see, like you touched on, Howse, give these girls, they both can do this single. They're all phenomenal solo acts. Let's give them something that can get a setup for the story later on. Let Jade go on her path. Let Bianca go on her path. And then we get that story reveal of why we get to Bianca and Jade. I think just too many belts, it just floods it too much, and you got too many champions. It feels too AEW in a sense. Let's let these girls develop what they're doing as far as their stories and let them handle it from there.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I definitely would hate to see Jade once again get pigeonholed to like a TBS-ish type championship which did happen to her in AEW. And I do think like I'm with Grunt here. We're seeing them test the waters with the NXT Women's North American Championship. So they're testing the waters on a mid-card championship. I think a Women's US and Intercontinental Championship is coming. I think that's coming, but I think that if we put Jade in one of those spots, which, man, I mean, it would be great for her to be like the first ever WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. I mean, once you're a first forever. You know, that's great. But then it's like you very much put her in that spot where it's like, well, shit, she's in the same situation she was in AEW. Almost the exact same thing. And, like, I feel like her coming to WWE and putting her in that situation, if I'm Jade Cargill and you're coming to me and you're like, hey, we got this new title and we're about to make you the first ever WWE Intercontinental Championship. In my mind, if I was Jade Cargill, I'd be like, fuck. Because this is the exact same situation that I was in AEW that I left. You know what I'm saying? I want to be a world champion. I want to be considered a face of a company. And let's face it, Jade Cargill could very much be a face of the company. Bianca Belair was one of the faces of the company for quite a while when they were big on Bianca Belair. And now they've kind of relegated her to this tag team and whatnot. And that is what it is. I think that we still have the best of Bianca Belair ahead of us. I'm not in love with the fact that she's relegated to a tag team right now, but I get it. I do get it. But I just feel like with as good as Bianca Belair is and everything that she could bring to the table, I mean, to me, she's like the Black Charlotte Flair. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put her in there and she's going to have a fantastic match. And she's going to do all the right stuff and whatnot. I don't know exactly. Voice, where are you at with it, bro? What do you think about the whole situation? Go ahead.
Okay, you just triggered the hamster in my wheel.
Okay,
man. Okay, so out of the big three, let's give Naomi the Intercontinental Championship. She becomes the first one. Now, this is how you get the turn. Jade gets a little jealous of it.
Yeah.
You know, because that was a role she played for a company that got her over, blah, blah, blah. You could play off of that. So she's the first one to take the title away from the first champion. And in this whole thing, Bianca stays Bianca and is like, wait a minute, how did this happen? The whole thing unfolds. You have you have Naomi then battling Jade time after time for it, and then you introduce Charlotte Flair back, and her and Jade go at it for the Intercontinental Championship because Charlotte's already won the title. She's already done that.
Yeah.
She hasn't won this title. And that's something that a Flair would want in their resume.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just my whole thinking.
I honestly think you nailed it because that's exactly what you're going to get with what's the main thing that Charlotte Flair does when she comes back? When she comes back, any run that she has, she's like, listen, I got to win a title. I'm to the front of the line. I'm Charlotte Flair. I'm going to the front of the line. But like most definitely, I think that there's just a lot of interesting things, a lot of interesting moving parts that's going down with the company. I mean, it's just becoming a thing where it's like all these different parts are moving. So even when we have these slower episodes, we're like, hey, this isn't what we've been used to because we've been used to banger, things happening. I mean, I was just reading and I put it into our group chat that Andrade and Carmelo are receiving extremely high marks for their feud that's going on. That's continuing. It's a great mid-card feud that doesn't involve a title. I think that it's good. And Voice, me and you've been raving about that, absolutely raving about that. So like, there's moving parts, and I think it's a good thing where it's like, we didn't have an Andrade and Carmelo match. We had an interaction in the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? But we didn't have another match between them, and that's good because we don't. Now that we know that they're going to put out a banger, let's hold that off until like Bad Blood. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Give them an Iron Man match, a best 2 out of 3 falls match, a ladder match, something, just something that you can do. And I know we kind of talked about that a little bit, but like, voice with you. I know because you're such a huge Andrade fan. Do you think that Bad Blood is where we kind of blow this thing off? I mean, it is all the way in October. This is a mid-card feud. It's a mid-card feud that's hitting a lot harder than I think people thought it was going to. But do you think Bad Blood is the right spot for this? Because this has very much become a feud where it is about, you know, I don't like you, you don't like me. This ain't got nothing to do with titles. I just want to beat your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I think they should actually have this highlighted. This should be your focal point for Bad Blood. This is how you get the people who want to see a Bad Blood match there to watch. Andrade and both guys are Andrade and Mello are both phenomenal. I mean, they've proven it, and I just absolutely love it. This is another match that I'm telling you guys in the household, sit back and enjoy the ride, because this is a fantastic feud that we got going.
Yeah, I agree with that. Fantastic feud. WWE's doing great things. You know, this episode, it didn't blow us out of the water. But once again, like I said, not every episode has to do that. Sometimes you just got to move the needle or move the wheel just a little bit, and it gets us to that big needle moving situation. So it's just like Grun was going nuts about earlier. Not everything's got to be great. Not everything has to be a banger every single week. Sometimes it's got to be slow movement, because you can't blow your load every single solitary week and have the best matches and have the best storylines and blah blah. No. If you're actually good at what you do, especially when you run weekly, because I know indie promoters who run weekly and they do a damn good job of it, and that's hard. Running weekly is
very hard,
and like they carry it well, and I think WWE carries it very well, and you got to have these slow points, and it's going to lead to something bigger and better and fantastic down the line. But hey,
well said.
This episode was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. We had a great guest with THELEW, and he's always in our chats doing great stuff and streaming and doing awesome work. I want to give you the floor here, man, to go ahead and plug anything else you have to plug, where they can catch you. I know you talked a little bit at the beginning of the show, but just to reiterate, and anywhere they can catch you in anything that you do, man.
Well, first, I greatly appreciate you guys having me on. This was amazing. Like, watching you guys every Sunday is a lot of fun, and I'm big fans of everything that you guys are doing. Obviously, the trickling effect, like we talked about earlier, like you and Hypocrisy were talking about, you know, meeting Grun, then led to Joseph, then led to, you know, meeting you guys in your house. Like, I want to thank you guys. It's been an amazing ride, and it's so awesome to see so many great minds come together, hang out, vibe out, talk some good stuff, talk some stuff that we love. It's amazing. You guys can find me at Twitch.tv/THELEW_. We have a lot of fun over there. Me and the Butties have a good time. I'm usually on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Each night is a different thing. We play a variety of things, and we've got a lot of fun things coming up. We've got a show coming up September 4th where we play once a month WWE 2K24, where we have my alter ego who was in chat earlier. I apologize for that again. Dave Dingle. We each have a roster and we go at it, and we have some special guests as well. We got 2 in your house right now that are going to be on my September 4th show. The Voice, Joshua Joseph, will be in a match. And then for the Butties Championship that we have right here, is being held by my good friend Turtle Pizza Power. He is going to be challenged by none other than the Dungeon Master, Grunmeister, and it's going to be a good match. Grun versus Turtle Pizza Power. It's going down. And another fun event we got, I'm going to do my first ever watch along on September 6th. We have the Packers versus the Eagles in Brazil. Go Birds. We are going to do our first ever watch along with the NFL season right around the corner. So a lot of fun things over at THELEW. Come hang out, come vibe out. We drink beers on the weekend. Love to see you there.
Awesome,
Yes.
man. You were an amazing guest with a lot of great insights. This will definitely not be the last time that we're going to have you on here, but this was a great first time for sure. So we appreciate it. But of course, I got to throw it to my great co-host here who helped me steer this ship and make it awesome. Grun, where can we catch you at and everything that you're doing, bro?
You can catch me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Grunmeister. Lately, I've been doing a lot more talking about pro wrestling. You can catch me Fridays, Smackdown, Preview Review in Grun's Room, 7 p.m. Eastern. And sometimes I'm on a Monday night show.
God, awesome Monday night show that is hosted by who I call the educator of extreme. That is the voice, Josh Joseph. Where can we catch you at, bro?
He says sometimes. He's every time. It's Monday night, 7 p.m. You can jump in for the Raw review where me and the beautiful blue-eyed villain himself, Grunmeister, we talk about 3 subjects of the previous Raw that we find interesting, that we want to elaborate on. And we have a silly goose time, so we hope you come and join us. You got window lickers, you got Grun's friends, my friends, the household, you got everybody. And sometimes we find an occasional buddies out there. It is. And we enjoy it. We love it. We love everything you guys are doing. Also, hit me up on a Friday at 6 p.m. where me and Howse go extreme. I take Howse on a journey back in time where we go into the 90s where ECW lived and it thrived, and we get extreme with all the ECW talent and bloody matches that you could ever love. And you can always catch me here on a Sunday house party giving you the best. Well, I try to give you my best thoughts of the week. Sometimes I get lost. Me and Jones, we usually have all these sessions, and then but we come here, we talk, and I love it. This is a playground that Howse built that he lets us come over, and now we are just like a big giant family. And we got the Lou. He's very modest in what he did. His show is amazing. You're gonna love it. If you love this vibe, it's over there too. You're gonna love the community. Everybody has a great time with each other. I mean, that's where I found the blue-eyed villain. He found me. We became one, and now you can catch us on a Monday night at 7 p.m.
Yes, and they do a great job. Amazing work. Just a bunch of grinders. And Bruzy, we love you out there. We appreciate you that you came out and you've been active in this chat the entire time. We found you you found us by chance, and it's been awesome. We love finding awesome, cool people like you, like the Lou, like Grunmeister, like Voice. It's great because we build a community, and it's all about community building. And speaking of that, you guys already know where I'm going to be at, and that's right here at In Your House, helping build that community and giving awesome creators that love to talk wrestling or just love to create and content create a platform to come and talk about it, talk wrestling. It's a spot where we come together, and it's just a fun time, and I love it. So you guys already know these Sunday household parties, some of the best times. I love it. Always look forward to it on my Sunday. Monday, you have the amazing Voice, Josh Joseph, and the Grunmeister giving you window lickers. That is the Raw preview review show. Then Hypocrisy Jones, whenever he feels like it, he gets you with his little smoke session. I know I've been on it. I know the Voice has been on it. It's very short, y'all. It's a short little block of time in order for you to smoke, in order for you to take a break, and just be like, hey, I'm on my break. I want to talk a little bit of wrestling. So smoke sessions with Hypocrisy Jones. Then on Wednesday, it's myself and divinely designed Annie O'Neill for the Raw deal with Howse and O'Neill, where we talk Monday Night Raw. We talk a little bit of NXT too. So check us out and see what we do. Guys, on Friday, what a vibe it is, because I get a chance to hang out with the educator of extreme, the Voice, Josh Joseph, and he turns me on. He takes me back to a great time in wrestling. That's ECW, and gives me a match. And honestly, this last episode, if you guys did not catch it live, or what have you, the podcast version will be coming out today. Make sure you listen to that first half of the episode for sure. We did a very new segment where we did a little AI generated storylines for the main storyline of the ECW reboot. It sparked a great conversation. Voice was really great when it came to talking about that. He loved it. I loved it. Our chat loved it. It was awesome. So we're going to be doing more of that. And then, of course, we have an awesome watch-along planned for you every single solitary week, and you guys love them because you podcast listeners download those like crazy. You seem to love them quite a bit. This was last week here. This was The Doctor Is In 1996 for our watch long series. Check that out. It was awesome. And then, of course, guys, live on location house party September 15th. We will announce it. What is it? Be here. We'll tell you about it. We'll talk to you about it. It is going to be awesome. Until then, you guys already know where you can catch me at. That's at Alakhan House. But most importantly, catch us over on In Your House Wrestling Podcast. Give us a follow and see all the shenanigans that we're getting into. And of course, that's HOWSC, and the W stands for work. So, for our awesome guest, the Lou, for the voice, Josh Joseph, for the Grundmeister, for Hypocrisy Jones, for Divinely Designed Danny O'Neill, for the world's most dangerous podcaster, Paragon, I am Alakhan, the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon, get on, or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt. Follow those buzzards. You have a great day. Peace out, y'all.
Yeah. In your house with O'Khan. Hey, O'Khan in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is the voice. In your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke.